Hey guys, it's Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of July 25th, and we're going to get started right now.
Hey guys, Tim from the comic book store in Capes and Scales, and I'm going to talk about all these trades. There's a bunch of trades. Hi, Paul. You've been here for hours, Paul. All right, we've got Rasputin, the voice of the dragon, some Mignola Hellboy universe stuff. We got Batman, Death of the Maidens. This is an older book getting reprinted. If you haven't read it, it's pretty good. We have Fence. I haven't read this, but I know people are digging it. It's about fencing, if you haven't guessed. X-Men Blue. You know how I feel about the X-Men. We'll just keep going. Batman. This is the wedding trade, I do believe. I'm going to guess from that cover. That Batman one doesn't have the wedding in it. It's before the wedding. We have Daredevil, Mayor Fisk. A lot of people like that arc. Here's another reprint. We got Superman for All Seasons. Al loves this book. It's another Loeb and Sale book. We've got Venomized. I don't really care about that. We've got Regression, which is a Image book. Cullen Bunn. He writes a lot. We got Warframe from Matt Hawkins. I do enjoy me some Matt Hawkins. And we got the DC Universe by Mike Mignola. So if you love Hellboy and you want to see things that aren't Hellboy, there you go.
All right, this was kind of a tough week for me. I loved everything that I read this week, so it's going to be kind of a coin toss on what my pick of the week is. But first we have Justice League Dark, issue number 1. This was a really great issue. I liked it. I've been a fan of Tinian since he was on Detective Comics. He writes groups and ensemble characters very, very well without any one particular character overshadowing the other. Even Detective Chimp got a decent amount of time in this book. But magic has gone wrong. We're still dealing with everything that went wrong with the Source Wall from Dark Knight's Metal. Now the original owners of magic are coming back to reclaim magic and destroy everything in its path. And Wonder Woman is getting a group of people to basically stop that. And it's going to be a group with Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Hellblazer, Man-Bat. It's kind of an interesting group of people. The first issue was great, and I can't wait to see the rest of it.
All right, first up, we have Mr. and Mrs. X, number 1. I read an X-Men book. Good for me. I really like Kelly Thompson as a writer. She's very good. And we should point out, I don't like the X-Men really at all. So this book was good, though. It was written really well. You saw in, what was the X book where they got married? 30. Of what color?
Gold.
Of Gold X-Men 30. You saw the wedding, but it happened so quick. This fills in a lot of the gaps, and then it jumps ahead to the honeymoon, and things go crazy, as they do in the X universe. It's a really fun book. There's some space stuff, there's some wedding stuff. Maybe Mystique was there, who knows? You will like this book if you are a fan of Kelly Thompson, or if you're a fan of Gambit and Rogue. There's a nice little write-up she did at the end of the book, talking about how she loved Rogue. Rogue is one of her favorite characters. And I enjoyed the write-up. So, this is a very good book. It's got a cool Dodson's cover. And even though I'm not an X guy, I liked it.
Next up we have Wayward, issue number 27. This is slowly coming to an end. And it's a shame too, because Wayward has been one of my favorite books for quite some time. It's how I got interested in Jim Zub. And the armies are tracking the wayward children, and things go bad for the army. Meanwhile, the main villain is kind of pulling his trump card and building something that he feels will finally be able to take out the Weavers and the rest of the crew. Does it happen? We don't know. But this is coming to an end soon. Unfortunately, this is the last arc. You should be picking this one up. You should be reading this book.
All right, and this was almost my pick of the week. Almost. It was really close. This is Bone Parish, number 1, by Cullen Bunn and Boom Studios. Cullen Bunn writes a lot. I feel like he has 3 new books every week. And they're usually pretty good, so I'm very impressed with that. This one is about a new drug hitting the market, not an illegal drug, and it is made out of the ashes of the dead. And when you get high off of said drug, you will imagine these people with you. You will, if it's like a famous person, they'll be there. You might reenact that person. It's a crazy high, unmatched like anything else. Very different kind of story. It is about the family who created the drug and how they are being pushed around by other, well, horrible elements. And it's a weird book. The visuals and the art are really good. Some of it is just really crazy. Things visually you just won't imagine. Yeah, if you don't have a problem with weird drug book, hey, here you go.
All right, my pick of the week, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2, because Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley are doing amazing work on this book already, and it's only issue 2. Peter's going back to school. His main teacher is not somebody nice. It's the Lizard. We're still finding out who this new character is. He is sending more and more D-list characters that I love after Peter to kind of disrupt what is going on. And then there is a huge twist at the end of this book that I'm not going to spoil because I'm not even really sure what happened myself. It's an awesome series. Nick Spencer gets Spider-Man fans. He gets Spider-Man the character. Ryan Ottley is doing amazing work, and the colors just pop. If you're a fan of the Invincible series, it's basically the same coloring staff, the same art feel to it, and that just makes me like this book even more.
All right, and my pick of the week is Infinity Wars Prime. Paul just looked shocked. I was shocked too. This book was pretty good. I haven't been following every little corner of the Marvel Universe. I've read some of these Infinity tie-ins. I know who has the stones, but I'm not super filled in. This book fills you in pretty good, well enough to get an idea of what's happening. This will probably read, let me just say now, this book as a whole, as a trade, will probably read really good because you're kind of jumping between a couple of different characters. It's going to feel like Infinity Gauntlet. It's going to feel like this big thing. A little, like I said, you're jumping from point to point. You're focusing on different stones and different characters in possession of them. Some craziness happens. Whenever craziness like this happens in the Marvel Universe, especially when the stones are involved, what's going to stick, what's not going to stick, but you know the ride's going to be crazy. You should check this out if you're a fan of the stones, of Thanos, of the space stuff. Check it out. It is potentially really good. Alright, so that's the end of the video. Thing here, thing here. I was going to say something funny, but Paul just said the worst dad joke ever out of my head. But instead, I'll show you this sweet short box from Amazing Spider-Man. It's got the cover of 1 and the cover of 2. And if you have a billion Spider-Man books, like I know all of you do, you want to put your Amazing Spider-Mans 1 through 9 billion in here. This is the perfect box to do it. Look at the box.
I mean, I get why you do the it's Shark Week. Another dad joke.
God.
That was bad. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's just fucking, that's it. Done.